This is
All
good.
right.
This is good stuff. This is too good to leave off of air. So now we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite nerdy podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about everything pop culture, but especially comic books, movies, and anime. And that being, of course, Comic X
Weeb!
I am your co-host, James, a.k.a. Comics for Cheap, a.k.a. hashtag send it to James, a.k.a. we got to get some goddamn gun control in this country for real. And I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy, Chris, a.k.a. Yeah, James, hit me with some music, man.
Oh, you're trusting me to do this again, all right.
Yeah, you're the music guy. Black Santa, a.k.a.
You froze out. Are you there? You there?
What's up?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Are you there? Chris, can you hear me? Looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Let's see if we can get Chris back on. Chris. There we go.
I'm here. You here?
Yeah, all right,
Okay.
cool. We're back. We're back connected. You just froze during the super cold water, and then and then it was just you like this for a second.
Yeah, you was gone too, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Bro was traveling through the multiverse. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what was happening there. But we're back, and we're live, and we're here to bring you all sorts of news, shenanigans, and everything like that. Hopefully, we don't have too many technical difficulties for the rest of the stream. So, yes, we were just talking on backstage about some sports situations that are occurring, and we just wanted to go live because we were starting to get into it. And I was like, "Damn, we need to save some of this for the stream." So, Chris, pick us up where we just left off. We were talking about Deshaun Watson and the situation going on there, as well as the baseball stuff that was happening.
Yeah, of course, because D. Watson, the new quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, formerly the quarterback of the Houston Texans. When he, in Houston, he was charged with, it was allegations, and it's starting to get to a point. Yeah, I guess you can say it's charged with 22 women filed sexual harassment and rape charges against him. He has been offered tons of settlements, but to settle everything, he has flat out said no. He denied all of it, said he didn't do anything, so he's not going to settle at all. Because if he settles, it's going to be, in a way, admitting guilt in his eyes. So, so he's not settling because he felt he did nothing wrong. Recently,
now this is sexual allegations, apparently, in regards to him getting massages from different women in the cities that he was in while playing. Yes. So instead of just going to regular massage parlors, this man
or his teams,
or they offer all that kind of stuff because they have a full sports medicine department for every team. I mean, every sports team, of course, they're going to have sports medicine. That's what they're there for. So instead of doing that, what would he do, Chris? He would order them.
He was getting these girls off of like Instagram and Twitter, and unfortunately, not saying these girls ain't professionals in their own way, but he was personally contacting them and having them come over to his house.
He was having them come, all right.
He had them come over to. He was definitely doing that. Apparently, he had them come over to his house, and according to him, these just became sexual. I'm not for sure if all 22 became sexual. I'm not for sure about that, but at least according to him, most of these things just happen to become sexual.
Sure. I mean, what else is supposed to happen during massage? I don't know.
Right.
Vinyl Dragon is here. He says, Santa Claus, you need to wear a big clock like Flavor Flav 2.0. That'd be pretty funny.
Flavor Flav. Maybe that'll be
another
boy. Yeah, oh yeah, boy. But it's really disturbing on the fact that he put himself in this situation. Because I mean, how do you not see this coming? You're a famous athlete, tons of money, one of the young stars, and you put yourself in a situation where you have these girls come to your house,
right? And
then this stuff happens, and of course, you don't know what people are thinking. Not saying every guy, girl, whatever you bring over is going to do this to you, but you should think that it can happen. Unfortunately, we're in a world where more than likely it's going to happen with random strangers you're bringing to your house. They can get paid. Not saying that that's their thing and saying that they're wrong or they did anything wrong. I don't know who did this. He say, she say stuff. But he put himself in a really bad situation. But the point is, the girls did like an interview last night. And it's like some little documentary that's going to be moving forward. And two of the girls came out and told their side of the story in graphic detail. And they're basically saying he forced himself on them. And one girl, of course, was crying and saying that she cried, and he texted her later that apologizing for the fact that she started crying or whatever. It was like, oh, okay. And then their whole thing was they was very upset and felt there was a smack in the face, and he's been rewarded for bad behavior because when he came over and got traded over to Cleveland, and then Baker Mayfield run there, and God, they need to figure this out because it's getting nasty over there with that too. But anyway, when he got over there, even though Deshaun still has a pretty big contract he already had, Cleveland decided to make him the first ever, the highest paid quarterback in NFL history, with giving him his whole contract fully guaranteed. And it's like 230 something million, or maybe more than that. But it's fully guaranteed. Overall, it's 80 million more than Aaron Rodgers, who was the highest paid.
Oh my God.
Before this happened this offseason.
All right, so I have a couple things to comment on. First of all, where the fuck is Cleveland getting all this money from? All right, I have this team hadn't been in the playoffs even with Baker Mayfield, who's scrub and way overrated. They did make the
playoffs with Baker. They didn't make the playoffs once, and then they won a game, and then they lost the next round.
Okay, so my question is, where the hell is Cleveland getting this money from? Why are you guaranteeing $270 million to this fool? That's a little ridiculous. And then with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, Aaron Rodgers is still crushing it, even at his age, even looking like a hippie. There was the whole thing with his name is Jordan Love, right?
The quarterback, the backup quarterback, yes.
So he came out and said that he's very frustrated. He said he's happy for Aaron Rodgers, but he's frustrated at the fact that he's stuck as a backup again. So he's kind of aired his grievances out with the press about the situation.
Which makes
and then
sense.
Where is Baker going? Does anyone know?
This Cleveland thing has gotten really bad. Where honestly, they need to just release him and let him go.
Obviously someone's going to sign him. I'm not saying that he's a total he can. I mean, he's not a great quarterback, but he's not the worst quarterback in the league either. So someone's going to take him. It's just a matter of I just don't know what's going on.
Because of how he played the last couple of years, even though you can say, he did make a playoff run and he had some good years, his few years here in the league. His last year was really bad, and the year before that, there was some drop off. But the problem is Cleveland, anybody who makes a trade don't want to pay his guaranteed contract, which is I think $18 million. They don't want to pay that. So they want Cleveland to either pay half of it and give them something back for him. They basically we're taking him off your hands. That's basically what they're saying. And Cleveland doesn't want it's a weird, nasty situation. But I do want to say
needs a change of environment. I think he just needs
he
a
needs
different team. Because, I mean, look at what Stafford did with a different team. Shit. I mean, everyone thought that he was the worst. He was on the Lions forever. And this motherfucker produced nothing. You know what I mean?
They felt that he put up empty numbers, that his numbers will look good, but his teams didn't win. Mm-hmm. And they thought he was just like overrated in the turn. Because there was some people like, well, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And there was other people like, how the hell can he be a Hall of Famer when his teams don't go anywhere?
Right. Yeah. But Baker is overrated. I will say that I think he gets too much attention. I think that his national commercials are uncalled for, and I think that I just don't think he deserves the spotlight that he has. But I don't think he's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
He is overrated in terms of him getting those commercials. He has way too many progressive commercials, and they get very annoying watching that. Well, it's not his house anymore because they don't want him there. He's being forced out. But
they should do like a divorce commercial.
That would be hilarious.
Where the wife keeps the house. Oh my god!
But I don't know. I don't know if I'm him, I would do that. But it would be funny. I don't think that he is like a bad quarterback. I think that situations led to bad things for him, but it's going to be interesting to see. It's basically his next spot is going to be his do or die. And if he doesn't perform well in his next spot, Baker's going to be done, and he's basically going to be a backup his whole life, if not out of the league, depending on how he handles it. But the final thing on Deshaun, though, which is interesting, is the girls brought up the fact that they wanted what happened to Trevor Brewer. I'm sorry, I'm saying his last name wrong. But basically, the pitcher in baseball who had some really nasty things come out about domestic abuse and blah, blah, blah. And baseball dropped the hammer on him. Like MLB was like, all right, no, you're gone. And they essentially suspended him for like 2 years. And 2 baseball season, which is insane. So
at that point,
have to happen to Deshaun.
At that point, you're gone because with baseball is such a different sport, obviously, than football is, and especially as a pitcher, they churn and burn pitchers like nobody's business. And there's like a common saying or joke, and it's not really even a joke, but they say that if you don't get drafted by the time you finish college, you're not going to play in the MLB. So baseball is a very young man's sport, even more so, I would say, than any other professional sport that we have. So 2 years out of the game, that's a death sentence for you. I don't think you can come back from that for the MLB. You could probably come back from that depending on how old you were at the start of it, for pretty much any of the other professional sports, but I don't think for baseball that you could come back.
Well, it depends, though, to be fair, because remember, if you're a good enough pitcher and you're young enough, you can look at that time off as him being able to either recover and stay healthy. And with pitchers having all these different arm injuries, that can be his way of coming back. Depending on the injury in football, it can be a death sentence guarantee. Football, to me, is the hardest one because your career is a lot shorter in the NFL than it is the other sports.
That is also true.
Careers. Like, this has been amazing what's been happening with quarterbacks the last, 4 or 5 years. But what Tom Brady is doing, what Aaron Rodgers is doing, what these guys are doing playing past 35, that's not something that was happening 5-6 years ago.
Right, yeah.
Especially not in the 90s and early 2000s. Your career was essentially over around, as a quarterback at 34, 35. That was it. There was no more. You're done.
Yeah.
And
most of these dudes didn't make it past
over around 30, 31, 32.
Yep.
Receivers, your career is very short. The average career in the NFL is 5 years. That's the average career. So you don't really go that long in the NFL. So when you get 10 plus years, that's amazing. For a pitcher, you can do that if you're lucky enough to not have different type of injuries, Tommy John surgeries and stuff like that really derail your career. And then if you're a hitter and you stay a lot more healthy, you're not doing as much physical stuff as you are in the NBA or basketball, but it's still extremely, extremely hard to be in baseball, though. Extremely hard to be in baseball and not be a AAA guy your whole life.
Right. For sure. Yeah, because you're not only competing against like, because quarterbacks, I mean, you have the quarterback, the backup, maybe a third string. With a pitcher, you got a whole bullpen that you're competing against, and that's just on one team.
Very true.
So you got to compete against every team's bullpen coming back after 2
you got
years
all these
out.
young kids.
Yeah, they're bringing in 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, whatever. For most other sports, 18, 19-year-old, that's like once in a while that'll happen. But in baseball, that's normal. Yeah,
and then remember, in basketball and football, you can't even do that anymore. They're trying to go back to, at least in the NBA, at least they've been talking about in the NBA, going back to drafting kids out of high school, which I don't think is going to happen, especially now with the new fact that players can get money in college. I don't think they're going to be doing that now, but they was really heavily hitting that, hey, man, like if the players weren't starting to get paid, there was a possibility, at least in basketball, not football, that these guys was going to be able to come out of high school again.
Right. Which makes sense. I mean, with hockey, with the NHL, they can draft you at 18 if you're good enough. You don't really need to go through the college route. But there's not really like a huge college scene for hockey anyway. I mean, it's like the northern schools, and I'm sure there's stuff in Canada. But like it's really not a scene like the NCAA with March Madness or college football is just so huge as far as culture in America goes. No one gives a fuck about college hockey. So the college obviously NHL obviously can take them at whatever point in time. And some kids will just skip college and play for the minor leagues anyway. And that's kind of where they're farmed up from. Same with baseball. There's not really like a college baseball huge scene or anything. It's not really part of the culture. There's the minor league games, which are a lot of fun to go and get drunk at and have a good time. And then there's the majors. So it's like the same kind of thing. It's just like exactly like you said. If kids weren't getting paid, like you were saying, if they're not going to start getting paid for their time in college for using their likeness, using their jersey sales, the fact that they're going to be placed in the video games. I mean, like you got to think about that. That's unheard of for a professional athlete to have all that shit, someone making all that money off of them and what they are doing and contributing to the game, and them not receiving a cent. In fact, it being illegal for them to make a cent and them getting barred from potential professional play because of it is bullshit. Like, I can't think of it. Like, it'd be like me working a job for 4 years and not being able to get paid, even though I'm outperforming, whoever, and this company's making so much money off of me, but I can't get paid for 4 years just because of some stupid rule. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. And it's always a thing. And I always hate it when I hear, oh, well, you're getting a college education. Hello.
But
that's not what they're there for. Like, right. I'll bring up Ben Simmons a lot, and I use him for the example because I love how just blunt and honest he was about it. But Kyrie, all these guys have said this. They really, literally went to a couple of classes and never went back, and they were still passed.
Yeah.
Ben was like, I did a couple of classes my first semester, a few. I didn't even do my second semester. Mm-hmm. And, I was good to go to the NBA. He was like, it was a complete waste of time. I didn't learn anything. It didn't make me a better player. And that's, if you're a 1-year guy, you're not really going to get that much better from college. Hell, right. Kyrie, I don't think Kyrie played much of anything at Duke. And then look at the star that he is now, one of the best players in the world. Ben Simmons, before he had this mental break and all this stuff, one of the best players in the world. I like these guys who do 1 year, most of the time, whether or not they can play or not. And the college is not that doesn't necessarily make them that much better, especially if they end up getting hurt and they miss all that time and they're not getting paid. And you're watching, like you just said, these guys get all this money off of my likeness. I'm the one bringing these people in the seats because they want to see me go. I'm the one making this big run for us and giving us all this money going to these tournaments. And then if I was to sign an autograph and get $5 off of it, all of a sudden, now I'm being erased from everything I did in college. If I won a Heisman in football, if I won the National Player of the Year in basketball, you're trying to knock on my door and physically take that away from me and then tell me everything I did is now erased. I'm the bad guy. Shame on me. But the school's still getting the money, and now I have nothing. And then I'm going to the NBA with a smudge on my face. No, hell no. So I'm extremely happy that players are getting paid.
Oh, and they should have been. They should have been, and because, like, I'll tell you from my own personal experience, for the limited amount of time that I went to NC State University, I was in a class with the starting football center, and I was in a class with a guard on the basketball team. And both of those students, while the center for the football team actually did show up to class, which was surprising, he did show up. But he was basically just literally handed the answer key for the tests, which was like, I could believe it, but like at the same time, I'm sitting there like, I cannot believe that this is actually happening.
Flabbergasted, like what?
Yeah, I'm just like, wait, so I got to do all this fucking work for this test and study, and this man right over here is just like, here you go, here's all the answers. And then the one for the basketball team, I think I saw him for the first class. And that was it. Yeah, I didn't see him again after that. So yeah, I mean, like it's very rare that a student athlete will take the student part seriously, and it's nothing against them. They're focused on what's going to make the money. I do the same fucking thing.
You're focused on your craft.
You're focused on what is going to make like your career. That's what college is for. You're focused on your fucking career. So if their career and they really think they're going to make it. And they got every opportunity that you got one fucking shot to make it. So you're going to focus all your energy and efforts on practice and weightlifting and conditioning and the practices and games. Then yeah, that's exactly what you should do. But you need to be able to get paid for that, because you're not getting an education. Let's be real. Like, they're saying that they're paying them through an education. You're not getting a fucking education.
No.
The coaches will be like, you're not showing up to class. You're going to fucking be here at practice. So
you want them to be at their best. So if they're draining themselves in all these different practices, they're not going to be at their best if they go to class. They're going to need time. Definitely in football, you need time to heal, recover. Yeah. So I get it. Now, to be fair, if they was to make it where you have to keep a certain GPA legitly because they're getting paid now, I mean, hey, they might do that. I mean, I ain't gonna necessarily argue against that now. Since they're getting paid now, they have to keep a certain GPA. Right. I mean, whatever. I don't even care if they don't do it. All I know is these players deserve to get paid. I'm just saying they could end up doing that. They could.
I just think they deserve to get paid for their jersey sales. It's their name on the damn jersey. Their likeness for any kind of like interviews or anything like that. It should be kind of just like a little bit of baseline pay. Their use in video games, that's literally their name and number and everything like that. And yeah, like you said, if I signed an autograph, if fans are like, whatever, I charge $2-3 or whatever for an autograph, $5 for an autograph or something like that, or sell my jersey on eBay with an autograph or whatever, like, yeah, I should be able to fucking keep that money. I did all the work to get me there. That should be my money. Someone is willing to pay a certain amount of money for my name on a jersey with my signature. Yeah, I should be able to keep that money.
Yeah, especially when these guys, like you said, are selling their damn jerseys, making the money off of them. You walk into an arena, you're home. Let's say you walk into Duke, you look up in the stands and you see kids and adults wearing your jersey, and you're sitting there like, that's neat. I ain't getting nothing for that, huh?
Right. Yeah, it's weird that like let's say like you look up, like you said, like you look up and there's 100 people in the stands wearing your jersey. That's 100 people that came out to see you because you're their favorite player. That's why they got your name on their jersey that they're wearing. So yeah, it's crazy. Vinyl Dragon says, I couldn't have said it better. That's that BS I'd be talking about. Bro, you took the wrong approach. You got to get gangster with those guys with the answer key and say, I want your cocktail fruit.
Love this guy.
Dude, honestly, like my whole college experience was pretty whacked, and that's why I bounced out of there. But that was definitely part of it that like made me just look at everything differently and just be like, this, like, it's so rigged against the average person. The average person out here, well, when I went to state, it was 10 grand a year. Now it's like 20 grand a year. So like the average person out here paying $20,000 a year to sit in the same classes as, you know, these kids that are playing football, basketball, whatever. And those dudes aren't showing up and are just being given the answers. I mean, it's just kind of like all of that was just very frustrating. It was very annoying.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to get your thing on one last thing, then we'll probably move on. But what did you think on the final part of the Deshaun thing? Do you think the girls, because again, neither James or I are saying either side is guilty or not guilty. We have no idea. Tons of stuff's going to have to come out. But do you think the girls are right when they're angry that he got this money? Or matter of fact, of course, they're going to be angry at that. But here's the one. Do you think he should be suspended like what they did in baseball?
If found guilty, then yeah.
As of now, 2 juries have dismissed it. And the big problem is the NFL could still suspend him, even though he was out a whole year last year. The NFL could still suspend him because what happened with the Dallas Cowboys running back, Ezekiel Ellis, when he had his situation and was proven not guilty. I remember me and you was working together and talked about it when the girl tried to say all this crap. And even her own friend was like, nah, she lying. She lying. And it was proven that, yeah, she was lying. Mm-hmm. And because she tried to claim him for rape or whatever, and she was lying. But he was still suspended 6 games.
Right.
So I would be beyond shocked if Deshaun doesn't get suspended. So do you think, though, the NFL should drop the hammer on him, or what should they do?
I think that he needs to go through the due process. If he's being accused of something, then whether innocent or guilty, that needs to be decided in court. Like you said, 2 juries have already dismissed it. It's almost like, I don't know. It's hard to say because I mean I'm not there. I don't know. So
should he be able to play next year?
Yeah, if he's innocent, then fuck yeah, he should be able to play. You know what I mean? Like, but if he's guilty, then no, he should, like, they should get rid of this dude. Like, it's very tricky.
I don't know if it's going to be finished by when the season starts. I don't know.
Right. So
the NFL has a decision to make because they could suspend him now, have him miss the first 6 games or whatever.
Right.
And then go from there.
It's just tough. Because so tough. If 22 people are bringing something against him, it's kind of hard to think like
fire. That's a lot of smoke to not have any fire.
Right. It's kind of hard to be like, 22 people are lying. Yeah. Like that's weird. That's like the Bill Cosby
you're bringing them to your house. Come on now. That's
right.
You put yourself there.
If 2 juries have also been kind of like, there's nothing there.
Right.
Then there's also just like the thought that because there are people out there that are just looking for that paycheck. So you got to think about that too.
100%.
I'm not trying to disregard or discredit anyone who has these allegations. I'm just saying that there are people out there that are trying to get the paycheck, but there are obviously situations that are terrible. And then if that's the case, then he needs to be punished. But if that's not the case, then like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's definitely a tough one. I don't think the NFL should jump to any conclusions based off of if there's not like a guilty verdict. I don't think they should jump the gun. But if when there comes the time that there is a guilty verdict, I think that the NFL should definitely just. I mean, there's not going to be much he can do. He's going to be in jail, right? So like the NFL should obviously act accordingly.
It's just going to make it look real bad, considering definitely it's going to make the Browns situation even worse. The Browns being worse. But I don't know how that is. Right? But
that one got me. That was pretty
funny. Clowns of the NFL. Seriously, that's a clown organization. Anyway, it's just going to be really bad considering they gave him this money and then this happens. Because no matter what, he got that money now. And you did this, making him, with all these allegations, you made him the highest paid quarterback or player in general in NFL history in terms of guaranteed money, in terms of guaranteed. You made him that. Him. With all these allegations. That just ain't smart business. Just ain't smart business. When he already had a pretty good contract already set up, that's not smart business.
Right.
And remember, he didn't even want to be there because when they first did, because remember, he had the trade clause. And when he was first offered to Cleveland, he turned them down. He only went there after they gave him the money. So let's not forget that neither.
I turned down Cleveland too. Who was it that sat there and said something, was like straight up trash talking Cleveland, saying that they wouldn't want to play in Cleveland? Like, what's there? What is in Cleveland, dude?
They do have a solid team, to be fair. To be fair, if everything go right, Cleveland could be in the Super Bowl this year, no lie. But
what? God, get out of here! Stop it.
They got their receiving core is up, but they got one of the best O-lines. They got a dangerous running duo, and their defense is legit. That's a pretty good team. If they stay healthy and everything goes right, I'm serious. That's a team that you would be worried about.
Man, I swear to God, if in 3 months we start watching some NFL and Cleveland goes on some stupid win streak, I'm going to be so furious, bro. I'm going to be mad as fuck, dude. I'm going to be mad, bro. I swear to God. That is fucking ridiculous. I am wearing a Santa suit. What's up, Street Food is good. I just wear I wear what's called the in the street Santa suit. I got the white
in the street. On. Oh, hold on now. Now you can see you let this man start beef between us. You know what I'm saying? The definition of the Santa in the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one out here in these streets and everything, bro.
Oh, right. I'm the elf.
We can't have two Santas up in here.
I'm wearing the elf costume. I'm a 6'6" elf. I'm just out here.
He's more than an elf. He's taller than me, though.
Yeah, I'm just out here, slinging the weight on the street while Santa, delivers the packages. I'll just be talking to the people outside, on the corner. I'm delivering a different kind of gift. You know what I mean?
I want to make sure Black Santa brings up Black Santa news real fast. That's right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Third person more now. My Instagram and Twitter is Instagram's been set up. Don't really fully like how it is, but next week when we first start, first thing I'm gonna do is give that out next week's episode. It's just, Dino, you understand my last 2 week situation. It's been so.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But if you don't, I understand.
Yeah. Well, we're good.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. So go ahead and drop what your Instagram is, so people can know.
No, we'll do it next week.
We'll do it next week. Okay, all right. Next week we'll have the official reveal of the Black Santa Instagram and Twitter. I'm very excited. I'm super excited.
Yes, sir. And Twitter. Yes.
Hell yeah. I'm not on Twitter, but Instagram I'll definitely give you the old shout out for.
Oh, yeah.
And that means we'll be able to, because I'm on Instagram a lot more than I'm on like the rest of the stuff, so I'll be able to talk to you on Instagram a lot more too. So that's good. But yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and move on a little bit away from sports and talk about the fact that we got a new trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder. We're going to go ahead and play it, and then we're going to talk about how we feel about it.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can bring it up real quick. And then we should be able to be good. Let's see. I got to share the screen.
Since we have wackiness, like, I don't know, maybe the big booty daddy, the power of the big booty daddy's like God stepping in the world of One Punch Man. I'm creating crazy that's happening. I had to make sure I get it out because I didn't get it then. Sponsored by Nobody.
Kids, get your popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. Well, he got in shape. He went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his title.
All right, hold on. I just want to say,
you do not know how much I hated this scene.
So I guess we're going to get the original Mjolnir back. Just off the bat, like looking at it, obviously this is the one that hella broke apart.
Yeah, it's the crack one.
Yeah,
which me and you talked about before that was.
We did talk about it, but like I'm still confused because where the fuck is the original or the Mjolnir that Thor brought back from the past?
I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know if he still has it. Maybe he still has it.
I hope they explain that because it's just such a plot hole. Because if you go back and watch Endgame, he goes back, he visits his mom, he calls Mjolnir. Mjolnir comes, He goes back to the future, like Marty McFly, and then he's got like regular Mjolnir and he's got Stormbreaker. So now he's calling this one, which has apparently magically been repaired by who? I hope we find that out too. But
probably the guy. I'm assuming the one who put together Stormbreaker is the one who fixed it.
The dwarf?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Thor. Oh, spoke too soon.
Jane?
All right. You want to talk about his mask or his helmet here? Do you have any feelings about his helmet? Because I didn't like it. I think it looks stupid too. I think it's too wide.
It is.
I mean, I feel like I'm being super.
They're trying to. It's a throwback. I get that.
Yeah.
But it looks stupid.
I'm being super nitpicky with it, and I don't like the eye/nose covering. I don't know. That's just me. I know I'm being super nitpicky. Like that's just like a thing. But if I'm just saying, I'm not a fan. But
yeah,
it's not like a make or break for me.
The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like? 3-4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take.
Am I sensing feelings?
Well, you're right. The only ones who gods care about.
Okay, now we get the Voldemort scene. He's got these long fingers with disgusting fingernails. Just like the whole way that he just kept reminding me of Harry Potter Voldemort. Just everything that I kept seeing.
I've never seen the Harry Potter series.
Hold up, you've never seen Harry Potter?
Serious. Okay. That's technically allowed. Let's go back. I watched the first movie. Okay. I think I watched the whole thing because I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay,
and that's it. I never watched any other movie. Not that I disliked it. I just didn't care enough to continue to watch each movie.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, later on in the series, when Voldemort reclaims his body, he does look a lot like how Gore looks in this trailer, except obviously, like, he just doesn't have a nose. But in the comics, Gore kind of doesn't have a nose. So if they had kept it kind of similar, it would have been like, oh, okay, so Thor is battling Voldemort.
Is themselves. So this is my vow. All gods will die.
Go, Bo.
It's very, very impressive what you did back there.
It's just my first bad guy.
You never forget your first. You are not like the other guys.
I didn't even notice the first time I watched that was Valkyrie fighting Gore.
The other gods of kill. You have something worth fighting for.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick.
Oh, you flicked too hard, damn it!
Should we help him?
And eventually, grape.
And they all got a peek of the goods.
That part was the only part that I was like, that made me laugh. When I first saw it, I was like, that was funny.
I mean, it's gonna have that Taika Waititi humor that we saw in the Ragnarok. I fully expect that same, goofy humor in this movie as well.
Right. I want to say this, then I'm gonna let you go, then I'm gonna unleash. But I do want to point out, because you put out that wonderful shot of the Butcher's upcoming album.
Hold on. Bro. Why is Marvel about to drop the hottest mixtape of all time, bro? Look at this shit.
I was telling you that there was some shit popping off with old Super Cold and Marvel, I'm also on this album. There's another part of it where one of our singles is gonna be the God Butcher doing this thing coming down from the sky. I'm giving y'all some exclusive here. He's gonna be coming down from the sky with my rain bitches. We're gonna be on the sled coming down from the sky. He gonna be hitting them bars, and that's what I'm gonna come in there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fire, bro. Like this album right here, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna go triple gold, triple silver, triple everything, triple Marvel. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be mad shoe. He gonna be up there slapping people at the Oscars. It's gonna be unreal, bro. We gonna have so much stuff popping off this year. Trust me.
If I saw this on the shelf, I'd buy it, bro. Unworthy by Gore the God Butcher. First of all,
featuring Black Santa. Come on,
featuring Black Santa. Hell yeah! Like Gore the God Butcher is such a great rap name. Like, first of all, Unworthy, great album title. That's fantastic. Parental advisory, explicit content. You already know it's gonna be good shit. Look at him, like, bro. There's a track produced by Heimdall on this fucking album right here, like that. Ride the Lightning is one of the title names of a song or something like that. It's just like that shit's just gold right there, man. That's just,
bro. You know how hard it was supposed to get Eminem up there too.
All right, let me kind of talk about it, like you said, and then you can go ahead and unleash. First of all, I'm not mad at how Gore looks. I'm not.
Me neither.
I think he looks fine. Could he have had more CGI or whatever? Okay, sure, whatever. If you want to get super nitpicky, like I was being nitpicky about the Thor helmet, whatever. Like, I get it. Does he look exactly like the comic books? No. Have we had someone like exactly like the comic books? On a handful of occasions we have in 25 years of comic book movies. So It's not something that I'm going to get crazy about. Are we probably going to have the Necro Sword and the origins going back to Null and the planet of the symbiotes? Probably not, because Sony and the licensing issues there is going to have a hand, because Null is technically a Spider-Man character or Venom character. So no, we're probably going to have a little bit different of an origin. It's going to be different. It's going to tie into the MCU as we know the MCU right now. Okay, we're just going to have to accept that. There's a lot of differences in all of the movies that we have seen so far. We don't need to go crazy about that.
And then they can tie that in later too, to be fair.
Exactly. So like they have plenty of time if they feel like they want to go back and fix that.
Because remember, this wasn't a thing until Noel showed up anyway. So all the years beforehand, it was not a thing. So they can fix that. They can fix that for sure if they choose to. So yeah. And
even like before Noel, it wasn't really a thing. Like it was kind of hinted at. What was the planet called? I think it was called Clintar, right? The planet of the symbiotes, like with the core center that they locked in Null. It's called Clintar. So like they had that like that little goo, the symbiote goo or whatever. He did have like the black spots around him. Whatever. Like again, like you said, that can be fixed in the future if they feel like they want to go down that route. Yeah. Christian Bale is an amazing actor. I already know that he's going to do a good job. It's going to be a good performance. He's consistently put out good performances, even if you disregard the Batman trilogy.
Which you should, because those were great performances.
Right. The Fighter, he won an Oscar for a supporting actor role. Where he played Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. He was in that other Christopher Nolan movie about the magicians and shit. I don't even remember the name of it. He's never bad in a movie, so I'm not really concerned. He's a good actor.
He does good.
Right. Not concerned about that. What I am concerned about is them nerfing him or making a joke out of this character, or even like one and doneing him where they just kill him immediately or something like that.
Which that I am a little possibility is going to happen.
Yes, so there is a very big possibility. Marvel does like to do that with their villains. I get it, like whatever. I hope they don't, but we'll see.
Well, I want to say he's definitely going to be nerfed because everybody's nerfed in the MCU.
Right. But as far as like a trailer goes, I'm fine with it. Like I'm still not super excited to see this movie. I really don't have like big ties or feelings to Thor anyway. I'm not like rushing. I probably won't see it opening weekend. I'll see it throughout the week, like the next week or something. This is not like, for me, it's not an opening night movie for me. But overall, I can't complain about this trailer. Like, I thought it was, it didn't give too much away, which I liked. It was just, it's there. So, like we've already discussed that we don't really know how this movie is going to come about anyway, like what's going to happen. So again, we still don't really know. The movie comes out in July, so we still got a couple of months, 2 months to wait. I don't have any hate towards it. I don't have any super love towards it. I'm just kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. You know what I mean? How do you feel?
Okay. As Skip Bayless would say, I'm gonna unleash
it.
So my problem was not the trailer. The trailer, I actually agree with you. The trailer was fine. I didn't really have much of an issue with necessarily the trailer. My problem was what the trailer has represent in terms of Marvel's, definitely the last couple of years. There seemed to be the way they're handling men characters, making them like Thor's a complete simp in that damn trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like, oh, how long it's been? Like 40. My man is telling the exact time it's been 8 years, so months, and so days, and probably minutes, hours, and minutes. I'm like, bro, what the? And then the whole time it's him simping over everything she's doing. Like his hammer comes back, and then all of a sudden, because remember, that's obviously not what happened in the comics, but she's just instantly there, and just like the hammer she's way more worthy than him without actually telling us why he's not worthy enough for that hammer anymore. But yet she is.
Right.
Like, and it also
which might not be how it occurs.
That's not how it occurred whatsoever in the comics.
I'm just saying,
it's not like that.
It might not be how it occurs in the movie. It might just be a little trailer.
It might not be, trickery. But at the same time, according to this trailer, it's showing that he did not know of this. Right. And she knew already, and just shows up and instantly already has it. Mm-hmm. And he's finding out right then and there, according to the trailer.
My reasoning of saying is, and I don't think that it's like that. I think it's just some trailer trickery. Is that she's already in the garb of Thor, which means she's already picked up the hammer. So I'm gonna say that she is going to pick up the hammer outside of like that moment, but I'm sure they're gonna have that be the moment that like Thor finds out. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. Yeah, I'm very sure it will be outside of that. Yes, I'm with you. But that's the problem there, though. Like, he's finding out right then and there. Obviously, that's not what happened in the comics. And it's not a thing of like being comic accurate. I don't really care. Like, not all the time that matters.
No.
But the problem is, like, even with the She-Hulk trailer, I still don't understand what their logic is. Do they want everybody to hate her? Because even in that trailer, she has a scene where she's like, when they talked about, are you an Avenger? And doesn't she like make a stab at them, talking about some only like rich people, and I forgot exactly what she said, but she was basically saying only like jackasses are basically Avengers and heroes, really. And it's like, this is the
in the She-Hulk trailer.
Yeah, it's like
she did say something like that. Yeah,
she said it's super arrogant and disrespectful to all, and she was like, orphans too. Like, this is who you want us to cheer for? Like, what likability is she supposed to have when she's shitting on everybody who's an actual hero? Okay, cool. And then remember the scene at the end where she's carrying the guy in.
Yep.
Like, I'm fine with you trying to say, like, yeah, women.
Look, she was just out here unlocking new fetishes that people didn't even know they had. You know what I mean?
Okay. My problem is, like, they make the men come across as stupid idiots, and the women are just so much smarter and better. And it's like, why do you feel you have to do it so hard to force this narrative like this? To try to make the men look like simps and idiots and dummies, while they come across as the smart geniuses who can handle everything, and we're the idiots.
I think that they're having.
That's the part that I'm really starting to get annoyed with, and it's making me not even want to watch this Marvel shit anymore.
It's the humor, I think, that they're trying to pan a little. Like we've had this discussion before, definitely, that they are incorporating more humor than I guess they should. Obviously, they're called comic books. They're funny books. So, yes, there's going to be humor. Humor is a big part of any comic that you pick up is going to have at least one attempt of a joke to make you laugh. That's just, it's in there. It's part of the basis of the culture. The movies, especially more recently, I guess, Robert Downey Jr. had just like the perfect way to incorporate the humor into the seriousness. Like I don't think anyone can do it as flawlessly as he was able to do.
I fully agree. And it also helped with his character being that kind of guy. Right.
So I think ever since then they've been chasing that like on-screen chemistry of like humor and seriousness. Taika Waititi has been known to do kind of like that goofy thing. I mean, even with his Jojo Rabbit, which is a movie about like the Hitler Youth and this kid that's like hallucinating Hitler. Hitler is not really that funny. Like the Holocaust is not really that funny at all. But he was able to like make it into this movie. So Taika Waititi has this his like this style, this form that he's able to incorporate humor into non-funny situations, which is why I think that so many people gravitated towards Ragnarok and it became one of the more successful Marvel movies, our issues aside, right? So I think that that's what they're kind of pushing a lot more of in these movies. And of course, Love and Thunder is going to have a lot of that. And maybe it's a little too much now. Like maybe people are getting a little bit too tired of it. That same kind of joke that's being pushed every time. That, you know, oh, Valkyrie upstaged Hulk and Thor. Yeah, that was funny in Ragnarok, like for a second, but like they're going to keep doing that. So now it's like Jane is upstaging all of them. And Valkyrie, I'm sure it would show her fighting Gore as well. So you're telling me that Valkyrie is now God level and able to fight Gore and hold her own?
Like,
or is she going to get slaughtered?
Comics, but let's not bullshit it. She is nothing compared to Thor.
Right. Oh, for sure.
It's not even a joke. Like, let's just be serious. She's not. And I get like, and it's like you want to do equality, and I'm fine with that. I'm not saying men are better than women, women better than men. I'm not here for all that garbage. But it's unless we're talking about basketball. Oh, but
let's hit some comments real quick. JBK's dad says I have some serious concerns about this movie. Final Dragon. Oh yeah, The Machinist. I forgot about that one. Christian Bale was in that one as well. You tell me I got to drop 100 pounds and no longer have access to my Jell-O pudding cup. We're going to have a problem. You can't make Thor look like a little bitch. That She-Hulk looks terrible. I don't know. Like, it don't look like it's gonna be complete ass, right? It's
the
just
series look like it's gonna be ass to me. She-Hulk looks like it's gonna be it's gonna suck.
I feel like they rushed the trailer. They didn't like incorporate. They're gonna fix stuff up. They're gonna tune stuff up to the moment of release. Like that's the beauty of digital release now that we're getting.
I think she'll be fine. Plus. Yeah, but I think the series will suck.
It can't be worse than Hawkeye. That's all I'm saying. Like it could be, but like at the same, I don't know. Like
the only difference is she's gonna kick ass while Hawkeye got his ass kicked.
That is true. I don't know. I just like for me that part of She-Hulk that looks the worst for me is the fact that like Hulk is going to be that goofy Hulk again. Like I'm just not a fan of goofy Hulk, as opposed to like fucking raging out.
Dude, Hulk has been based, like honestly, since they did that shit with Thanos, they have really just made Hulk just a little bitch.
Yeah, he's just like a gag joke.
Like now he is She-Hulk's bitch. Cool.
Doing these same jokes over and over again is like every single Hangover sequel. That is true. I was so surprised. Like Hangover is a great comparison because Hangover, while I was in high school when Hangover released, and I thought it was funny as shit. And because I was the target audience for Hangover. But then they made Hangover 2, and I was like, wow, they literally made the same exact movie. like pretty like it was the same exact fucking movie. And
they even made jokes about it being so similar.
Yeah, and then I didn't even see 3, so I can't even attest to that. But comics were like that until Watchmen, Dark Knight. Then the medium evolved as it always does, but now it's evolving into something that shits on its own history. That's a good point. You're talking about like when I said that comics had like humor and everything. Watchmen was just so groundbreaking. I don't think that.
And what's so sad, I think it was ahead of the time, and I hate when I have to say that, because usually when you say that, it didn't get the credit it deserves, and no one ever brings it up.
Yeah. But like,
it gets no real respect.
What? Yeah.
It's as if it never happened, honestly.
Watchmen was just one of those, I mean, like, Watchmen just turned around not only the mainstream Marvel and DC comics, but I mean, it created a lane for these indie comics to come in and be a lot more serious too. So like it was who the fuck made Watchmen again? Just remind me real quick. Was it Ennis that did Watchmen or no?
Was it?
Oh fuck, I can't remember.
Why you do that? The thing that really sucks too is that the only time again really Watchmen got any real
Alan Moore. I'm sorry.
Okay. Only time Watchmen really got any real like mainstream like really since has been when he was the big teases with the DC stuff, with everybody really getting hyped up for a legit fight between Dr. Manhattan and Superman, and we all saw that end up turning out. But it just sucks. It don't get credit. It don't get the credit it deserves, honestly.
It doesn't get credit. It's a little bit. It's almost exactly. It's almost like a lesser known series. Watchmen also released like its movie when I was in high school. I was actually working at a theater at the time, and I remember it just like the movie didn't hold a candle to the comic book, and while it brought a lot more attention to the comic book, I feel like it brought attention to I would almost say the wrong crowd, because while it did get people into reading the graphic novel, then everyone was like, oh well, this is just boring and blah blah blah, and because they had no real background knowledge of events that were going on, or like what comic reading really was about, and like being able to comprehend and appreciate a story like that. So yeah, Watchmen for sure was just like it was just a game changer all around. But yeah, and then Dark Knight, as far as like Frank Miller goes, Frank Miller changed so much about comics in general. It wasn't just Batman that he did that to. It was, I mean, Frank Miller was just a game changer, period. Like the way that he was able to create stories is still to this day like unparalleled. So for him to be able to go back and just like rewrite origins, you know what I mean? Like not necessarily like change origins, but just rewrite them in a way that was like, wow, like that was incredible. Again, like I said, it's just been unparalleled. Donny Cates has definitely attempted on the Marvel side to rewrite some origins like that, but I don't think even he has come close to what Frank Miller was able to achieve. And you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but that's just where I'm at on that.
Yeah.
Vinyl Dragon says that's because they made Hawkeye to be geriatric. It's not just that. It's just that they had this 16, 17-year-old girl like fucking take down a mafia and the kingpin. Like I don't know, dude. Like it was just so weird. They reversed roles for
Hawkeye
for Kate and Clint. They just kind of reversed the roles as far as like in the comic book to what they put on the screen.
Right.
And then they had her chump out Kingpin, who like when we watched him in Daredevil was very near to beating Daredevil to death, and that's an achievement in and of itself. So for him to go against a girl and lose, it was mind-boggling. I don't know. how else to describe it.
I mean, it's the same Kingpin. Well, obviously, it ain't the same, but in theory, this is Kingpin who is like swapping up with fucking Spider-Man, squeezing the life out of Spidey, and you're telling me this girl can anyway? Yeah, okay.
I mean, he fought a whole prison riot. If we're talking about like MCU, this
fair enough. Yeah, this MCU, yes. Okay.
He fought a prison riot. Okay. He was able to smash a dude's head in with a car door.
Right.
He fucking fought. He fought Daredevil twice to like close, like one-on-one, just squared up with Daredevil twice, and both times like it was fucking close. I love that.
Maybe power-scaling wise, Kate can kick Daredevil's ass.
That's what they're showing. If that Kate was able to chop out Kingpin in less than 30 seconds, then Kate should be able to fuck up Matt Murdock, is what they're saying. And as far as these shows go, that's where I'm just like, it's just confusing to me. She-Hulk will be way worse than Hawkeye, in my opinion. Chris is right about the MCU now. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to like hate on the fact that girls are getting their attention, females getting their attention.
But this is not what that is, though. This is not just them getting their attention. This is them shitting on the male counterpart. Yeah, because I want more female movies. Shit. Again, you know my favorite X-Men, Psylocke. I would love a Psylocke movie. We're not getting a Psylocke.
Yep. And then we get, we
doesn't make more sense. But still, I love that. That's freaking awesome. The problem is they're not doing that. They're just using it to just shit on the men in their counterpart and make them come across as idiots and simps.
Right. And I love that you brought up X-Men, because X-Men is the perfect example of them all working as a team.
Right.
And obviously we have some of the strongest X-Men are female characters. And we have between Storm, Phoenix with Jean Grey, like you said, Psylocke.
Even Jean without the Phoenix, she's still a powerhouse without Phoenix.
Right. So
the threat. And they do a good job of having them perform well and do their duties without having them have to shit on the men counterpart.
Right. Yes. Thank you, Rob. It was Alan Moore who wrote Watchmen. For some reason, I was thinking on this. It was not him. No, it was not Neil Gaiman. If it was Neil Gaiman, I would be bored to tears. I'm not a big fan of Neil Gaiman. I've kind of discussed this before. I'm not a huge fan of his writing, both in novels and in comic books. I'm just, it's not there for me. It doesn't click.
I just want to say real quick, then we get to it. Do you agree, though, that they are shitting on the male counterpart, or do you disagree?
Yeah. Well, So I think that they are, especially if you go back and rewatch, especially towards the end. So if you start, if you rewatch the whole Marvel phase that we've seen so far up into Endgame, right? Starting at around Black Panther, you start to see a shift. Now, I'm not saying that it was definitely like a shift in Black Panther, because Black Panther is one of my favorite MCU films.
Right.
But right around that time is when we started getting a shift to like, they were making it more about girl power, which is, again, no problem with it. It's cool. But when you start to make it like, oh, just because we're girls, we're better than the dudes. That's where it gets a little weird. It's like, yeah, you can be the strongest, most powerful person, whatever. Scarlet Witch is, the most powerful Avenger that we have been presented with on screen so far. That's great. But don't make it like, oh, well, why, that joke that they made were like, why has she been up there the whole time when all these dudes are out here, Captain America, T'Challa, are out here busting their ass, and it's like, they ain't doing shit kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's just where I'm at. So for them to like keep relying on that joke.
Right. They didn't make the men shit on the females. There wasn't scenes where Captain America and them were just like, Black Widow, what are you useful for? Like, some people, they weren't doing stuff like that or making her come across as like she's just a complete chump. They just had her play a role.
Right. I seen you working at the AMC South Boulevard. You said Lord of the Rings was epic. I actually worked at it was very, very, for a very small amount of time, it was Consolidated Theaters out in the South Park area. And then it became Regal while I was working there. So yeah, there's a spot in Charlotte called South Park. It always made me laugh. But that's where I worked, because I was able to walk to that theater, and I would walk there for work at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then walk home at about 1:30, 2 in the morning. So there you go, a little piece about my life. What Miller did with Dark Knight brought mainstream attention to Batman comics. There were segments about it on the evening news. I didn't know that there were segments about it on the evening news. That's pretty cool. Batman has made the news though. I know as far as like recently, we got the bat penis in the news, which was.
We're talking about that. We're not talking about that.
Oh, what were you about to talk about?
I thought we were talking about the thing that they was hinting at Batman being gay.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, we weren't talking about that. Okay.
I thought that was Superman. Well,
no,
the new Superman.
Superman's son.
Yeah.
No, they hinted that Batman could be gay. There was like a comic that came out, whatever, that showing a scene with Bruce, like in his younger years or whatever, and him and the dude was talking. I think Bruce was down about something, and the dude was like cheering him up, and then they was coming in for a kiss, and then they get interrupted. So it was hinting that Batman could be bisexual. It did not go over well with people because everybody's sick of the fact that like a lot of YouTubers came out really hard on it too. And I think Tyrone Madden said it perfect if you watch what he was saying about it. But they was like the whole concept is we're sick and tired of them making superheroes who are 100% was not gay beforehand, and then all of a sudden making them bisexual or gay just to put them into something that they shouldn't be put into. Because even a lot of gay people was coming out saying that you're gay when you're younger. Mm-hmm. The way they're handling it is turning people who are way past that, like just all of a sudden just turn them gay without no real explanation, just to say we have a gay person here. Why not make new characters, new established characters where you're not dividing your fan base and you're not pissing people off? Make new characters who are gay and then give us something to be happy about instead of making. That's what they're saying, and I agree with that because I hate the fact that they're just making characters that we already have gay when you can just make new characters. Be creative.
It would be very strange.
Piss people like me and other people off because we're like, what the fuck? We don't have a problem with gay people, but why are you doing this? You're not winning this situation.
Yeah. I feel like it would be very unnecessary to go back and make any kind of Batman, Bruce Wayne, especially out of the blue. That's a little strange.
It came out of nowhere, and like people was not happy. People was not like, yeah. Everybody was just like, what the fuck? What is this?
Yeah. I mean, but knowing Batman, he definitely researched and prepared. I'm sure he took an enema and everything. He was ready. You know what I mean? Batman is always prepared. So.
Are we bringing up the Robin stuff or no?
Yo, I mean, if we really think about it, there have been signs.
It was very hard for me to drink down that water there.
Look, but there have been more signs for Robin. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, which Robin are we talking about? Because Tim Drake is gay. Are we talking about Dick?
I'm talking about, Grayson, the original. Like, first of all, this motherfucker was in the circus. That right there.
What y'all say? Circle people are gay?
Look, I'm not saying that they're gay. I'm just saying that they're weird.
Right.
So he's a little oddball. You know what I mean? Growing up in the circus. That's a strange life. A little gypsy life that he's got going on.
Yeah, he's had Starfire, Barbara Gordon. I mean, this dude has had some girls, son, some women, brother.
You're right. But also, this dude agreed to dress in some yellow and red spandex that don't even cover. It's like not even a woman's bathing suit, bro. Like, it's just a
who wears shorts. Those aren't even short shorts, bro. Those are like fucking
I'm just saying.
And his name is Dick. Like a freaking super like 100-day degree shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, and Bruce calls him Dick all the time. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that their relationship was gay. I'm just saying that there have been many Catholic priests that take on altar boys and accusations come out later. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The famous scene of them in the bed together with their shirts off and everything, and who knows what's underneath there. That's the weirdest thing. I was just like, Bruce? No. Like, what the fuck? Who thought this was a good idea? I don't care what. I know it was back in the day, but still, there should have been somebody who was like, no.
There are so many female hero movies they could make, but you don't need to make the men in the movie weak to make the woman look strong. That's why the first Wonder Woman is so good. Yeah, first Wonder Woman I thought was a really good DC movie. I still haven't even seen the second one just because I didn't want to tarnish my image of the first. But I really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman movie.
But exactly what he said. That's how you do it. And Wonder Woman being one of my favorites, you know that. I love how they did that because it's like you make Wonder Woman strong, powerful, great. And you didn't have to have her just shit on like Superman or Batman or any man. She can stand on her own feet without it having to be, I'm better than him. I have to prove that no, fuck that. You're better, but just show it and not have to do it this way.
Right. Rob also says that one scene in Endgame where all the women are united on the battlefield was so forced it felt awkward and out of place. I think actually that's what they were kind of making fun of in The Boys, the second season.
They did.
That whole women of whatever, which I'm so excited for the new season of The Boys too. But there was also a scene not only in Endgame but in Infinity War. It was a little more subtle than the Endgame scene, but there was definitely a scene where that's what they called it. They called it the girls get it done in The Boys. But there was definitely like a girls get it done scene in Infinity War too. But like I said, it was a lot more subtle. So I didn't catch it like the first watch around, but when I went back and like rewatched everything, I definitely caught it on the second. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, they were definitely going
what team was it?
That direction. It was where Black Widow teams up with oh shit, I don't even know. But it was like the two other girls that were there. I feel like one of the Dora Milaje was there. And someone else, and they fought that one bitch from Thanos' camp. But they were like they were in a trench, and they fucking fought each other in there, and it was just kind of like it was very like girls teaming up, but it was like an all girl fight scene, but which is why it was like a little more subtle because they were fighting a chick. But when in Endgame when they all kind of teamed up on the battlefield to charge Thanos or whatever, I was like, oh okay, yeah, we're getting.
It was so bad. So bad.
Black Panther was epic, except for some clown at the very front of the theater said every time they touch each other, it's like black on black crime. I thought he was going to start a riot. Are you serious? In the theater, someone said it? Oh my God. God damn. That's fucked up.
Man.
They said he might be pansexual. I guess you're referring to Bruce. I don't even know what that means. I'm not sure. I don't know all the intricate.
I don't neither.
Definitions and technicalities. Alexis knows a little more because she works a little more in that field with mental health and everything. So she knows a little more. Wendigo was gay since day one, like it should be. He's saying Robin is putting it in the rub. Look, I'm just saying that the outfit that he wears and the combination of being a billionaire's ward is just a little similar to a preacher and an altar boy. That's all I'm saying. That's really what I'm going for. Back on the 60s TV show, they specifically added their aunt living with them, so it wasn't Bruce and his young ward living alone in a mansion with the perv butler. I remember the Adam West shit. Yo, that Batman 66 movie is still like one of my favorite Batman. Yeah. It's just so fun to watch. Like it's so funny and it's like lighthearted and just very wholesome. Like there's no ridiculousness. Like I mean, it is ridiculous. I'm just saying there's no like seriousness to it. It's just one of those movies that I can watch like even like once a month type of thing and just not get bored with it because it's so funny and it's just like it's one of those movies. That would just crack up. Bro, it's like going to Myrtle Beach and you see many Canadians walking around in Speedos. What's wrong with that? Bro, I walk around in Speedo all the time. I'll do it right now. Shit.
And that is why we're not sponsored. Right. Gotcha. All right. Well, I mean, we got to do what we got to do then. I mean, again, we're trying to save all that for the OnlyFans part.
Yes, this is the part. Yeah, they both.
You're gonna see Dino and Speedos all the time reading comics and everything.
Yeah, my OnlyFans, bro. Just
Black Santa and his I will say Black Santa Speedos, but all right, sure. And his Santa themed Speedos and shit. I mean, great time.
Is that like where it's got like a little white felt ball like right above the dick? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, so they helped us out. Vinyl Dragon and Rob, JBK's dad, said it's where Proxima Midnight fighting Michonne and made a comment about having no chance alone. And Black Widow appeared and said, "Who says she's alone?" Yes, it's that little scene. They're like in the trench, and it's like the little. It's either 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. I think it's 3-on-1, but I haven't watched it in a while. So, but it is a little more subtle because they don't make like a huge deal about it, but it also kind of set up what happened with the Endgame charge for sure. And dude, the most epic scene is when he is trying to get us in front of that big bomb. To get us in front of it. You talking about the Batman movie? I'm not sure what we're talking about here. The dude,
I don't know that scene.
One. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know, man. As far as going back to tying it all back to the Thor: Love and Thunder, I just hope that they don't play that angle too much. I am looking forward to the incorporation of the Guardians of the Galaxy and seeing how they set up the new Guardians movie, like how what James Gunn is going to do, kind of continuing on. You do notice that we don't really see Gamora at all in that trailer. So
because you did say she's with them, right?
Right. I mean, if we're thinking about what happened with Endgame.
Because I really need to watch that.
Gamora is technically back.
She was with them when they left.
Gamora is brought. I got not see now. Now you're making me wonder.
Because
Gamora is brought.
That's what they're searching for. I felt that he's searching. They're going to be because I feel their whole thing is going to be. My personal opinion is going to be them basically drop him off, and they're going to be looking for Gamora, and that's their game. That's like Star-Lord's biggest thing, and the team is going to be searching for Gamora, and either they're going to get a tip or Thor's is going to be like, hey, man, I can't go on this search with you, whatever the case may be. They're going to drop him off wherever, and then they're going to go straight for Gamora, and that's basically going to be what the movie's going to be set up for the next one, for the first part of it or whatever part of it is going to be. That's what I think it is, but
I could have sworn that Gamora was on Earth with them fighting that battle because I think that I really thought that Thanos brought Gamora with
that's the thing. They got the Thanos. They got his Gamora because our Gamora, quote unquote, is dead. So they got his Gamora. That's fine, but I don't remember her leaving with them. So that's what I think they're going to be. Like Star-Lord is still searching for her though to get her back. Like he knows she's back, but this version, but he want like to get her part of the team. I don't think they became like team. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that happened. I don't remember though. I really don't.
I don't remember either.
But I'm pretty sure they didn't lead together.
Yeah, because I mean it was all kind of like bundled in the death of Tony Stark. So like that obviously took precedence as a viewer. That's kind of where your attention was at. So yeah, I honestly can't remember exactly. I really think that Warlock is going to play a bigger role in Guardians. Like we're going to get Adam Warlock and some kind of like consequences of that. But I guess we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with Thor and what happens there with the Guardians. And I'm sure that there's going to be some humor. There's always that little chemistry between Star-Lord and Thor. We saw it in the teaser where they were kind of like doing that little joke where they're looking at each other. So I'm sure that that's going to be a fun little play off of each other. And then, yeah, like you said, maybe they just dropping him off and going off. But Thor again was already on Earth. He's in the new Asgard playing his video games and just getting back into shape. So he's gonna, I don't know, that's gonna be interesting. Get rid of that big bomb in Batman. He runs, and in one place there's a marching band on the other side. Oh yeah, that's right. This is like old. We're talking about my brother and I used to watch this movie when he was little. Like he was like 6 or 7. So yeah, I was like maybe 15, 16 at the time. This one we used to watch this movie all the time. I always felt as a part of that, since the Soul Stone was returned, that there would be an after credit scene where Black Widow walks up and walks out of the creepy water saying she came back to life. I don't think they're going to bring back Black Widow. I do think that Gamora is going to continue to play a part. But yeah.
I think if they do bring her back, it'll be some time shenanigan thing. I think the original one will probably just stay dead. Or if they bring her back, it's going to be...
we have Yelena now. So we have Yelena now, so she's
true. Yeah. Hands on.
Yeah, so she's kind of our Black Widow. So ScarJo is really not gonna play a part, I don't think.
I can still see them doing something with if everything completely smooths out and Black Widow does come back in Scarlett Johansson version. I can kind of see that being like, if you give the other girl her own movie, I can see that her being in there.
Who's this saying? Yes, why does Zeus sound like Inspector Clouseau? I don't know. I'm not familiar with Inspector Clouseau. I'm looking it up right now. We're gonna see. Inspector Clouseau with Alan Arkin, Frank Finley, Patrick Carr. This is an old ass fucking movie that we're talking about right now. From 1968. Good God.
He was sounding like he was a character like that though.
Well, from like an old whatever one? Yeah. He's Zeus. He's an old guy.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing they're trying to get at, though, like the old like fairy tale story. That's basically what he was like, sounding like a fairy tale story type recap.
Yeah. Have you ever read any of those old Journey in the Mystery books?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, fuck. It's like reading a goddamn Shakespeare play, bro. That shit is ridiculous. That shit, thou mustest go onwards and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it was written back then, especially in the 60s, early 70s. And like they were trying to make it this Greek god, Norse god mythology and everything like that. So, yeah, of course. Maybe they're just trying to play off of that. I don't know. But Russell Crowe, God, he's gotten fat. Holy shit.
He's gotten fat.
Dude, this is the Gladiator we're talking about. This man was ripped. Russell Crowe, bro. This dude was a fucking beast. Now all of a sudden he's eating grapes on the top of Mount Olympus and just chilling. Was it Pink Panther before it was Pink Panther? Is that what it was? Maybe.
The Pink Panther. Gosh, man.
Oh
my God, dude. Yo, super random thing real quick before we go. I was I don't know why, just like it's super random. I was playing like Star Wars Fallen Order or whatever. Okay. And I love that Vader scene. It's still so great, man. Where Vader just like the girl's talking and she's like, I've always hated you. And she's like trying to like the Inquisitor, and she's basically going into like it's look like it's about to be her redemption moment. And then out of nowhere, you just see her start like and then you hear the and then this dude just comes out of the shadows, jumps down, and then she knows she's dead, and she's just like, revenge us! And he just cuts her ass down. And then, like, the girl charges at, because, like, soon as he shows up, the other girl's just like, Siri or whatever, she's like, the main character, he's sitting there like, is this bad? And she's like, yeah, it's him. And then she kills the Inquisitor, and then Sirius tells him, she's like, run! And she charges in at Vader, and Vader just like, with a wrist of his hand, just throws her overboard. And then like your character tries to fight him and gets his butt destroyed, and then it's just forced to run away from him. I just love that the power they showed Vader is just like, I love that, man. It was such a great scene.
Are you excited for the Obi-Wan show? I think it comes out in a couple days.
Vader show.
Well, yeah, I also wish that it was a Vader show, kind of parallel to the Marvel Vader comics. But
yeah,
I think we're going to get pieces of that. I mean, as far as the trailer looked, I think we might get some pieces of that kind of thrown into this this show. I'm pretty sure it.
Here's my biggest issue, though, and I do have excitement, but my biggest issue is with Obi-Wan, you kind of have to have Vader in there. With Vader, you don't have to have Obi-Wan.
Facts. That is 100% accurate.
So,
I mean, even in the comics, he really didn't go after Obi-Wan. Like, he went after when he was like hunting Jedi and earning his lightsaber and the crystals, like making them bleed and just kind of like working for the Emperor in general. Yeah, it really wasn't too much Obi-Wan play in either of the series.
No, it was just Vader stuff.
Yeah, you had all sorts of your own other shit that really didn't incorporate him at all. Now with the show, while we haven't really gotten to see much Vader in the trailer, that's expected.
Yeah,
we want that to be a surprise. What I'm hoping though is that it's not because he has such a minor part that they don't want to like spoil like a minor part or anything.
Yeah, because I mean, again, I gotta give Fallen Order so much credit because like when you're playing, obviously it's been out for years, so you know now. But when it first came out a couple of years ago, you didn't know Vader was in there, and they did a great job really hiding Vader being in there. So when he actually shows up at the end, you're like, "Oh my God, that's Vader!" And he has his epic moment, and they did such a great job with that. And it was like, that's freaking cool. So, man, that was a really good game. That was a really good game. I can't wait when they do part 2. That was a good game.
I'm excited for the show. Thought that Boba Fett was a little bit lesser of a show than Mandalorian, but I'm still appreciating the content that they're putting out that's outside of like this movie storyline that they've done. Because the latest trilogy, I just wasn't a big fan of.
I mean, it's sold because the name Star Wars, but it's not looked at positively by most fans. Even the Star Wars fans look at it negatively. So
yeah,
it didn't really do
Star
well.
Wars fans, it's hard to please them to begin with. I think they even had like a some interviews with Hayden Christensen and dude who plays Obi-Wan. Shit, now like I just completely blanked on his fucking name. Fuck. How did I forget his name? He is played by Ewan McGregor. That's right. So they sat down with a whole bunch of people. So they sat down with the actor for Jar Jar, and just bringing in, and they're just asking them about Star Wars fans, the toxic reality that they bring, and just like that culture, that toxic culture, and the toxic reviews, and the fact that they've to the point where they drove out directors, they drove out actors, they made people shut down their social media, just because of these Star Wars fans are fucking psycho. I don't understand it. That poor dude who took off the stormtrooper helmet in that first movie, the black guy who played took off the helmet. And he had to like delete his social media because they were fucking coming after him or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? And then the fact that we had like a girl Jedi or whatever, and they were coming after her.
No, they were wrong to come after her. I don't think. I mean, she did a bad job, but they was doing death threats, and I'm never behind crap like that. Like they go way too far. Like if you don't think she's doing a good job, whatever. But you don't have to go after this girl to the point where she got to shut down her media. Like fuck off.
Shut down the social media shit. Like
you would only do that behind your stupid little keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. And like that, I mean, let's be fair. A lot of the Star Wars fans are very much like that. Basement dwellers. I'm not saying all of them are like that. I'm just saying that they're out there. But like, it's just I don't know. I mean, for a fan base that, let's be real, has probably been bullied throughout their life to like then continue the cycle of bullying onto the actors of the movies and shows that they grew up loving. It just doesn't make sense to me. And like, it was just interesting to hear their reactions of just like, yeah, it was tough at the time, but we're appreciating the love now. But it just kind of makes us sit and think like, where was the love, then when we were like redoing the episode 1, 2, and 3 or whatever with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor and even like the Jar Jar Binks actor who said he had to like kind of go into hiding for a little while from the death threats.
Oh my God, yes, they were so. Oh my God, people still get mad at that dude. Yeah, and I'm like, guys, relax.
Yeah, it ain't that serious. It's a movie.
Why are you mad at him? If you want to hate the character, that's one thing. Why the hell are you going after the damn actor?
The actor who's just getting a paycheck for acting in this movie.
Dude, and he actually played the role the way it's supposed to be. So he did the character justice. It's just you don't like the character, leave him alone.
Yeah,
it's not like he played the character and did a bad job. No, he did the character what it is in every time it showed up in comics and whatever. So fuck off, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. So Star Wars fans definitely toxic culture. I mean, they even chased. So they had originally hired the dudes who did Game of Thrones. The Benioff, or is it Benioff? Who I don't remember their fucking names, but there's a pair of them that did the directing for Game of Thrones, and they were slated to take on Star Wars. And then immediately after, like, I guess a day of Googling, they were like, you know what? We're good. We don't need the hate that just comes along with the territory. And that's why Disney / Marvel turned to the guy who did the Star Trek films, J.J. Abrams, to take on Star Wars instead. And, like, that's just sad. Like, the fact that, like, can you imagine being a director and working your way through, whatever you did. You did a really good job with Game of Thrones up until the end, which blame can be associated wherever you want to put the blame for that. I still blame George R.R. Martin for not completing the source material in time.
Hey, to be fair though, my man has bounced back heavenly in Elden Ring because he helped out in Elden Ring, and oh my God. Woo!
Who helped out in Elden Ring?
If it ain't Game of the Year, I swear to God, we riding.
Who helped out in Elden Ring?
Martin.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep. He is one of the people who helped out in Elden Ring with
this man is literally doing anything that he can do besides complete the fucking series that he's supposed to complete. I swear to God, this dude he's just going on a rampage. Of other books. They're making a Game of Thrones prequel on HBO that he's a part of. Like he's part literally of doing everything he can.
Elden Ring has only been out for literally in Elden Ring's first 3 weeks, it sold over 12 million copies. Wow. It currently beat out freaking Call of Duty, which no one beats Call of Duty out. Elden Ring has just bammed. And he's helped out with that with again our Lord and Savior Miyazaki. Miyazaki-san. And he did that, but yeah, you're right. He's not working on finishing his own shit.
Yeah, at this point, he's gonna put out the new book, and everyone's just be like, "All right, okay." No one gives a fuck now. You should have rode your hype 10 years ago, motherfucker. God, right. But yeah, it's just. But so the directors of Game of Thrones. Can you imagine just being like you've worked so hard in your career, you had a very you brought HBO back to life is pretty much what you did with Game of Thrones, and then you're given one of the all-time biggest movie franchises ever, Star Wars. Disney Marvel approaches you, Lucasfilms, whatever you want to call it, and is like, do you want to direct the next trilogy? Hell yeah, you want to direct the next fucking trilogy. That's a fucking opportunity of a lifetime. And then you take one day and you're like, I wonder how people are feeling about the fact that we're, signed. And then it's just a fucking cesspool of hate and anger and toxic bullshit from these neckbeard, sweaty, disgusting, fat, probably looking like Jabba the Hutt in front of their keyboard, jerking off to internet porn all day motherfuckers on Reddit and they're just saying fuck this guys or whatever, and you're just like, all right, you know what, never mind. This is not worth the pain that we're about to go through from
that a damn Google search can make you say.
God, that's just depressing as fuck, man. Like the fact that can happen. Because I mean, I'm like, I don't know. You work that hard and you obtain success, and then I don't know. And people like, because they can do anything like with the internet these days. They dox your address, your family's stuff. They get into your fucking accounts and all that shit, and make your life a living hell. And it's like, that's just not worth that pain. No job is worth something like that. So it's just, I don't. And there's really no other fan base that's like that. That's that I know of anyway. That's that like incredibly hateful and toxic, and it just doesn't make sense. Because again, like I said, a lot of the people that are perpetrating this hate have probably had hate perpetrated against them.
Right.
So it's like, why would you want to continue that instead of why would you want to continue that instead of like, putting love out there into the world for once? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm really with you. Like I said, I'm fine with you not liking the character, but once you start attacking them personally, like the actual person who's just doing their job, I can't get behind that. Because you're threatening them, saying you're going to kill them and do this or that to them. They're horrible human beings. They're this and they're that. It's like, dude, fuck off, man. Like, they're doing their job. Come on.
Vinyl Dragon says it feels like a race thing. They did the same with that Asian girl in the last few movies. Yeah, the girl, right, who was the Jedi. I didn't pay super close attention to the movies, to be honest. But yeah, I just remember that being a thing where they had to shut down their social media and just kind of hide for a little bit because it was just like that crazy that they didn't want them a part of like their personal lives, obviously. So, God, it's just, I don't understand it.
I don't either, man. But all you gotta say is, "Hey, I just don't like the movie." That's it.
Right.
I don't have to go any further than that.
Exactly. Like, okay, it's cool. We shit on movies all the time. I never gone after the girl who plays Hawkeye. I've just said, hey, I can't believe Hawkeye chopped out Kingpin in 30 seconds. Like, that's the extent of my anger. It's not like this bitch deserves to fucking die. Let's find her in real life. Like,
it's like you said, had nothing to do with it. Tom Holland because of his stuff with Strange. Like,
oh, geometry, motherfucker. Let's triangulate your location, geometry, motherfucker.
Bro, you know you couldn't be mad at him for long because all you gotta do is start saying Ella, You'll be like,
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he bust out that dance real quick.
That's right. Yeah, y'all both be dancing. Tony Maguire come in there, he start doing his dance, and you start doing like, it's not crazy, man. I'm still angry. I wanted that dance scene. That's what I wanted. Spider-Man. I wanted to bust it out once or twice.
You know what's really cool about Tom Holland, just while we're on the subject of him, is the amount of like his own stunts that he does. I think is really cool.
Yes, I really, really got introduced to that, and when he was doing the Tim, God, what is it? God, it's the video game he just did the movie on.
The Uncharted movie.
The Uncharted, yeah. When he was showing off some of his stuff, I was like, damn, that's impressive. And then I was like a whole background. I didn't know how heavy he was in Spider-Man like that. I was like, that's cool.
It's super cool. I always like that. I appreciate it. Even though like I'm not a big fan of Tom Cruise as a human being, I always like had a great appreciation for the fact that he does a lot of his own stunts and everything like that too. It's really cool that they're able to do that. And I know Tom Holland has a big background in gymnastics and dance and is able to do stunts because of that, which is really dope as well. So, but just kind of being, I guess when they released all the behind the scenes and some of the like cut footage for Spider-Man recently, I was just able to like kind of watch him do stunt coordination and some of the routines that he had to do. It's pretty impressive, man. Like, it's pretty cool.
It is.
Some of that stuff that he does. So I just want to throw that out there while we're on the topic of him. But I think we are going to bring tonight's episode to a close. We will see you next Tuesday. Go ahead and hit that like button for us. Smash it, whether you're catching us live or on the replay. We appreciate you as always. And like I always say, stay villainous and
fuck the Fantastic Four.